Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to All Levels Yoga, bringing in 10 minutes of guided meditation this Friday. My name is Michelle Chua. So you'll want to have 2 blocks and a strap just in case. And let's begin lying on our backs, coming down into Supta Baddha Konasana. You have the soles of your feet together, knees bent wide, starting to open up the hips already as requested. And then if your thighs are lifting uncomfortably away from the ground, feel free to put pillows or blocks under each outer knee or outer thigh. The higher the block, the more you're supporting your legs. And lie down onto your back. You're feeling very active, especially in the mind. It may help to ground by placing your left hand on the center of your chest and your right hand just below your belly button. Otherwise, anywhere you want to place your hand so that you can relax your body a moment. Your body be still. Pay attention to your space around you. And gradually zoom your attention to your physical body and the parts that make contact with the ground beneath, the surfaces beneath. Feel a sense of being physically supported in this practice. And then bring your attention to your breath without changing your breath in any way. Notice how you don't have to do a single thing for it to occur. Your body naturally breathing efficiently. And with that, recognize that you have all these other systems at play, interplaying: your digestive system, nervous system, respiratory system, all kinds of systems that are also effectively at work. You don't have to do anything. How amazing is that? Notice how in that way you are also supported. And then we show up here, this community practice of yoga, which literally means union. The practice of consciously uniting all these parts of ourselves that we may not pay as much attention to as we go about our days. Our breaths, our minds, our bodies, our spirits. And paying more attention to all these aspects of our being, we come back to a sense of wholeness through yoga. Notice that by coming today, you are being supported too. By yourself, by the practice yoga, whether live or to the recording. Now I invite you to just allow another moment to recognize all the other ways that you are supported in your journey here, in this human body, in this lifetime, and perhaps beyond. Supported by things that we can see with our physical eyes. It's so much support by things that we can't see with our physical eyes. You know when somebody enters a room and you can feel the presence without having to look? Acknowledge all the support that is here for you, that is here for us, as we step into a new chapter called 2021. Now begin to invite a deeper inhalation Just allowing your breath to take its time, feeling its presence from beginning to end. Feel the sweetness of allowing that breath to fill you up with life force. And just as much, feel the sweetness of letting go as the breath cleanses of what is no longer needed. Go to the very bottom of that breath and feel also the sweetness of emptiness, space. And as you continue breathing in slower through your nose, and maybe a few exhales through your mouth, delight in the simplicity yet potency that is your breath. At any given moment that you prefer to be still in your body and just bring this attention back to this breath, know that you have that option, and I'm only here suggesting postures and movements and alignment cues to you, but really you are creator of your practice. You are teacher too. Trusting yourself. Now, as you close your lips, if you're able to just breathe through your nose, continue to sustain your breath, creating a gently audible whisper by softly narrowing the back of your throat. We call this technique Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing. Hear your breath ease its way in through your nostrils, brushing past the back of your throat. And then again, eventually out through your nose, an even flow of giving as you exhale and receiving as you inhale. Support coming in and you giving support too. And bring your hands to your outer thighs, and if you have props there, gently remove them and lift your thighs up, bend your knees towards your chest, and begin to rock side to side, softly massaging your lower back against the ground. Continuing the cycles of conscious breath. Then from here, cross your right thigh over your left thigh and catch hold of your outer feet, if not reachable, your outer shins, if not reachable, the backs of your thighs. As you ground your shoulders and pelvis, begin to splay your feet wider apart. Perhaps your thighs come closer to your chest. Breathe in. Exhale 4. Inhale deeply. Exhale 3. Deep breath. Exhale 2. One more, filling it up. And let it go. And cross your legs, switch left thigh over right. Again, catch hold of your outer feet, if not outer shins, if not backs of your thighs. Ground your tailbone, ground your shoulders. Splaying your feet wider apart, let your thighs more firmly hug your midline. Deep breaths. One more full breath here in Supta Gomukhasana. And then uncrossing your legs, draw your bent knees together and begin to rock forward and back a few times, building momentum, massaging down your back, and eventually sitting upright so that you could cross your shoulders, plant your hands in front, and land on hands and knees. Now, if you have blocks, I invite you to set them on the outsides of the top of your mat. As you stack above your wrists, spread your fingers flat. Parallel the creases of your wrists with the front edge of your mat. Set your knees to rest under your hip so that you are in a modified plank pose. Now let's bring the attention to as you continue to lengthen your spine as if we're just firm your belly in, steady your eyes on the ground in front of your hands. And now as you breathe in, begin to slide your shoulder blades closer together in retraction. And as you breathe out, splay your shoulder blades apart in protraction. Let's try 4 more. Inhale, shoulder blades squeeze together and the chest lightly sinks. Belly stays lifted. Exhale, splay your shoulder blades apart. Feel a slight doming of your upper back. Breathe in, squeeze together. Breathe out, expand. Last time, retract and protract. Now stay at protraction, lengthen your neck, shoulder blades down your back ribs. Keep lifting the sides of your waist. And now begin to straighten your left leg, tucking your toes, pressing the heel back. Feel the front muscle of your left thigh, your quadricep engage. Now do this for 3 breaths and then lower your left knee and switch. Or straighten your right leg too and stay the whole time with both legs straight in full plank. Now with your hands, feel a sense of rebounding your weight off the floor rather than collapsing into the floor, so that you have space within your shoulder joints and even within your wrist joints. We're down to 3 more breaths. If both legs are straight, both quadriceps are engaged, and you're lengthening your tailbone actively towards your inner heels, broadening your chest forward. Now entering Chaturanga Dandasana, or 4 limbs. Next, exhalation. And these could be down if you want to modify. Bend your elbows back to graze your side ribs. Pause halfway, elbows bent 90 degrees. Then slowly lower all the way. Point your toes and separate your ankles hips distance. Entering Sphinx pose, plant your forearms in front of you so that your elbows are about 1 inch. If you're dragging them back, and chest, few breaths here. Now feel the weight of both feet. It's a sacrum. And at the same time, lengthen your tailbone towards your inner heels, lifting your chest, drawing your shoulder blades down. 2 more breaths. This is actually a great detoxifying posture for your kidneys, among other benefits. And on your next exhalation, lower your forehead to the floor. Reach your hands behind your lower back. Either grab a strap to hold between your hands or interlace your fingers to prepare for bound locust pose. 5 breaths. Now as you coil again your chest up. Look slightly down so you're not cranking your neck. Press your heels back so much as you keep your feet parallel that you lift your legs off the floor too. Lift up, count on your own about 3 more deep breaths. The tops of your shoulders release down away from your neck. Tailbone lengthening back towards your inner feet. Take 1. Lower your feet. Plant your wrists alongside your floating ribs. And either cobra or upward facing dog, breathe in to lift up. Take another 2 to 3 breaths, lengthening your legs behind you actively and coiling your chest up from right beneath your shoulder blades. Contract your belly and slowly lift your sitting bones high. Draw your weight back, entering downward facing dog. Now take the first few breaths if you want to pedal your feet and warm up your hamstrings and calves. Softly move your skull to relax your neck or any other kind of movement. to be able to open space in your body here. Attuning to the spaciousness in your breath. Find that slight broadening of your shoulder blades across your back ribs by rotating your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor, contrasted by firming downward through the space between your thumbs and index fingers. Let your head fall, gaze towards your feet. Let's take another 3 breaths in stillness. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then softly step your right foot forward to land just outside of your right hand, coming into a lizard lunge. Now you might grab your blocks and elevate your palms, whatever height of the blocks you need here, so that your shoulders can relax, your chest can feel slightly lifted, no tension in neck and shoulders. Or if it feels okay with you, you can have your hands on the floor. And then do lift your left knee, bend your right knee directly on top of your right heel. Keep the sole of your right foot flat on the floor, facing forward for this version. Take a few breaths, and you might even softly rock forward and back, stretching into your left Achilles tendon, into your groins and hip flexors. Gently draw your right outer hip back here to help align both of your hip bones to evenly face forward. Now, keeping your right heel just where it is, lower your left knee to the ground if it's not. Curl up your right toes and flex the foot. And begin to scissor your right thigh bone back even more as you lengthen your chest forward, straightening your right leg in this wide version of split as you bow in. Feel that as you're bowing, you're not closing up your throat by tucking your chin into your chest. Your shoulders are resting down your back, inviting spaciousness in your spine. Now we're going to enter these 2 postures a few times, connecting movement to breath. So inhale, rebend your right knee, enter your lizard lunge. Exhale, lower your back knee and return to half split. Let's go 2 more rounds. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split. Then draw your right heel back. Step your left foot outside of your left hand and go right into the second side of lizard lunge. So see if you might be able to keep your right knee lifted here. Otherwise, you can always place it on the ground. You could adjust the height of your hands on blocks. Set your left foot flat on the floor, stack your left knee right over the heel, and slightly draw your left outer hip back to help balance both hips to face forward. You may even gently rock forward and back as we stay just a couple more breaths here. Now keep your left heel where it is, lower your right knee if it's not already, and curl up your left toes and flexing the foot as you plug the thigh bone back. Straighten your left leg, lengthen your chest forward and bow inside of your left leg. Into this wide version of half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Feel a sense of equally lengthening both sides of your torso, from your armpits to your outer hips. Now let's flow in and out of these postures. Inhale, rebend your left knee, perhaps raise the right knee in lizard lunge. Exhale, lower right knee, straighten left leg and fold, half split. Twice more. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, half split. one foot flat on the ground. Set your right foot outside of your right block, entering a stool. Now you could take your blocks and stack them as a stool to sit on. Spread out your legs from your hips and align the center of your knees with your center toes. And then use your arms to help splay your inner thighs apart while dropping your pelvis, grounding to your feet. Then take a deep breath as though you could from the base or bottom of your spine and lift up through each vertebra. Broaden your chest. Keep it slightly lifted and roll your shoulder head slightly back. Exhale, release your shoulders down. More breath in the squat. Listen to the flow of your breathing as you create that gentle whisper. Let it be your pacemaker as you intentionally slow it down and really take time with it. We'll start together the first 2 cycles of Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. Then we'll continue 3 more rounds at your pace. So here we go, starting in a forward fold. Parallel your feet hips distance apart to start. You might bend your knees slightly if there's any rounding of your back. Press your fingertips on your head or your blocks. And as you breathe in, extend your chest forward and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Keep your weight shifting forward. And inhale, sweep your arms as we rise up into Urdhva Hastasana. Watch your palms meet. Then exhale, join your hands at your heart, then down by your sides. From the top, inhale, circle your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Inhale, press with your fingertips, lengthen halfway. Plant your hands and step into your version of plank. Continue as you breathe out to glide forward and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Come all the way down for Cobra. Otherwise, flip your toes and enter Upward Facing Dog. Contract your belly to lift your hips to Downward Facing Dog. Right away, pause your body, rebalance your breath, and steady your eyes. Finishing 3 to 5 cycles of breath, where you redefine the pace of your movements by the pace of your breathing. Bend your knees, lift your heels and hips high, look beyond your hands. After exhaling, hold your breath out and walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Maybe you bring the feet together this time if it's available for you. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, palms meet towards the sky. Exhale to mountain pose. 1 more together, 3 more on your own. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Step to plank or lightly jump to Chaturanga Dandasana. Breathe into Cobra or Upward Facing. Breathe out to Downward Facing. On your own, pause for 3 to 5 breaths. And when you feel ready, at your own pace, walk or float forward and continue 3 more cycles of Sun Salutation A.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of class. I'm going to say where I'm going now. Just after that, I'm walking. Everything okay? Call you tomorrow morning. Bye, love.
I'm just going to make sure that everybody's muted.
Connected to the core of me, connected to the
When you finish your third cycle on your own, let's meet in facing dog. Remember that you can come into child's pose anytime you need rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. And when you eventually arrive in downward facing dog again, take a few breaths and walk your hands slowly back towards your feet, entering Padahastasana, a forward fold. You may want to bend your knees here because you'll lift your toes and slip your palms face up underneath the soles of your feet. Try to get your toes to reach the inner creases of your wrists, offering a nice stretch into your outer wrists and forearms. Then shift a little more weight towards the balls of your feet as much as you can. Then inhale, draw your chest forward, lengthening your spine halfway up. Exhale, keep shifting forward as you hinge from your hips. Completely let your head go. Now, if you're able to bend your elbows apart here as we stay in the forward fold, lifting your shoulders up away from your neck. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slipping your palms out from underneath. Bring your hands to your hips. Point your elbows towards the sky. Perhaps bend the knees if your back needs more support. Leading with your chest. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand. And from here, grab your two blocks just so you have more options. And if there's a wall that you can stand facing about 1.5 feet away from, that could be another means of support besides the blocks. So if blocks, place them on their tallest height, 1 foot in front of your feet as you step your feet together. Coming into mountain pose. Now bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, lean your weight back towards your heels, feel chair pose, hugging your midline. Draw in your navel and shift your weight onto your left foot. I'm mirroring you. Turn out your right leg from the hip, flex your right foot, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh like a figure 4, splaying your right thigh open as you might sit a little lower. Breathing in, breathing out, steady your gaze ahead. Now, you might join your hands at your heart here. Keep flexing your right foot. You might reach your arms up like chair pose, or you might lower your fingertips onto the blocks or climb them down a wall. If right is ready, let's take another 4 cycles of breath in preparation for flying single pigeon. Now, if your hands are on props, keep your palms together at your heart, take a deep breath. And then exhale, rise up to stand. Set your right foot next to the left and come back to mountain pose. Deep breath in and let it go. Join your hands at your heart. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Bend your knees and hug your midline. Turn out your left leg from the hip and flex your left foot as you cross the ankle over your right thigh, splaying your left thigh open. See if you might be able to sit a little lower, taking your time. You might venture into raising your arms or climbing them down a wall or placing your fingertips on blocks. Continue here for 4 more breaths. Feel an even drawing of both sitting bones back and down with a slight join your palms together at your heart. Take another breath in this posture. And gently rise up to stand. Grab your blocks, step to the middle of your mat, open your arms wide, and then step your feet apart almost as wide apart as your wrists are. We're entering triangle pose. Set your blocks just behind your calves, and as I continue to mirror you, turn out your left leg 90 degrees, turn in your right leg 45 degrees, aligning left heel to arch your right foot. Keep your legs straight, open your arms. Slide your pelvis towards your right leg and reach your left hand past your left leg before lowering it onto your left shin, thigh, or to the left of your leg, maybe on a block. Now, as you see that your left kneecap, the center of it, aligns with your center left toe facing straight ahead, spiral your chest slightly to face the sky. Feel your left sitting bone rotate slightly beneath your body, actively reaching your tailbone back towards your right heel. Now, this is a blueprint posture for where we're going next, which is Ardha Chandrasana or half moon pose. And to ease into entering it, you might place your right hand on your right hip. Now look down and steady your gaze on the ground in front of your left leg. Bend your left knee, crawl your left fingertips onto the floor or block, 6 inches ahead of your left pinky toe and out to the left corner. Drag your right foot forward and flex the foot as you lift the heel, about the height of your hip. Open your chest again like you had in triangle, and maybe explore raising your right arm too. Feel a sense of grounding through both feet, even the lifted foot, by flexing the muscles in your legs, feeling your center contained. And at the same time, feel the support to expand. A slight feeling of flight. How is your breath supporting you? Now, taking your time, bend your left knee when you're ready and softly step back to triangle pose. Both legs straight, right arm to the sky, maybe gazing up. And once you finish a breath or two in triangle, root down through your feet and inhale, rise up to stand. Roll your hips, parallel your feet, then turn out your right leg 90 degrees. Turn in your left leg 45 degrees. Align your right heel to the arch of your left foot and open your arms, glide your pelvis sideways towards your rear leg. Reach your right hand forward, then down. Feel your right sitting bone rotate down beneath your body as your right knee and middle toe align. Actively lengthen your tailbone back towards your left outer heel. Spiral your chest slightly towards the sky and maybe gaze up. A few last breaths. Uttita Trikonasana. So as we enter Ardha Chandrasana or half moon pose, steady your gaze now on the ground in front of your left foot. You might like to place your left hand on your left hip. Bend your right knee, crawl your right fingertips about 6 inches ahead of your right pinky toe and out to the right corner. Drag in your left foot and flex it. Lifting your left leg parallel to the floor, turn your chest completely open towards your side wall. And maybe explore raising your left arm too. Feel your breath in, balance with your breath out. Feel all that is supporting you, and not only physically, in this moment. When you're ready to come down, take your time, bend your right knee, and softly land triangle pose. You land Left arm towards the sky, a couple of breaths. Then firming down through both feet, inhale to rise up, and let's step up to the top of your mat. You want to have your blocks at the top of your mat. Bring your feet together, bend your knees together, back to Utkatasana or chair. Extend your arms forward and slowly lower your pelvis to the floor. Lifting your feet together, your spine tall, Navasana, boat pose. Now you might straighten your legs. Take a deep breath in and lift your chest. Exhale, 7. Inhale, think of lifting your pelvic floor. Exhale, 6. Inhale, notice what you could soften. Exhale, 5. Inhale, notice what you might engage for balance. Exhale, 4. Deep breath in. Feel your center alive. Exhale, 3. Deep inhale. Exhale, 2. Last breath here. Exhale, foot with your feet onto the ground. So with your index and middle fingers, clasp your big toes. Bring the inner edges of your feet together and flex them. Then sit up tall again, roll your shoulders back and down, and then lift your legs in butt part. Here, we're straightening one leg and then switching, or straightening both legs like a V and maybe and then cross shins, point. Grab your blocks so you have more options, and let's place your blocks alongside your hips on their lowest height. Plant your palms face down on your blocks. Hook your ankles, flex your feet, legs off the floor. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, see if you can lift your pelvis off the ground and maybe catch a little air time. And then set it down. Switch the cross of your and exhale, try to lift. And set it down. Straighten your legs forward into Dandasana or stick pose. Separating your feet hips distance, flex your feet. We're back. Fold, so you might want to place a strap around the balls of your feet. Otherwise, raise your arms. Take a deep breath and lengthen your spine. Keep relaxing your shoulders and exhale, fold forward. Now, if you're not holding a strap, either catch the backs of your legs or clasp your big toes again. Drawing your foot and sliding your shoulder blades back and down. More breaths in Paschimottanasana. Lead with your chest to slowly rise up. Set your blocks again beside your outer hips. One more time, hook your ankles, flex your feet, knees bent. Take a deep breath and see if you can catch a little overhang time if you're up there. And maybe even try to swing your legs back. Maybe through your blocks behind you, entering Chaturanga with hands on the blocks. Breathe in to your Cobra or Upward Dog. Or take your usual Vinyasa. And let's meet in Downward Facing Dog. Hands on the ground, blocks aside. Body still for a few breaths. Now take a look at your wrists or the space between them. Keep your gaze there. But we're gonna land the feet, one foot behind your wrists, feet together touching. So bend your knees, lift your heels and hips high. Feel a sense of lifting your pelvic floor when you've completely emptied your breath, holding it out to lightly hop maybe once or a few times, to land your toes just 1 foot behind your wrists. And from there, lift your heels and bend your knees. Keep the inner edges of your feet together and splay your knees apart. Keep lifting your hips, hollow your belly. Hands, shoulders width apart, just like Chaturanga Dandasana as we start to bend the elbows in a moment. Gaze at least 2 feet ahead of your fingertips on the ground. Steady your eyes, steady your breath. Begin to bend your elbows back, parallel your arms, feel the slight protraction of your shoulder blades. Hollow your belly, bring your knees high behind your upper arms or armpits, and begin to rock forward by steadying your gaze forward. Perhaps you lift a toe, maybe both feet, doesn't matter. What are you cultivating when attempting such a posture? Perhaps courage, perhaps self-trust, perhaps a sense of adventure. Now you have the option of coming down to child's pose, jumping back lightly to Chaturanga and adding a vinyasa or a few cat-cows. Take your choice and meet in child's pose for a few breaths. When you arrive in child's pose or balasana, let your arms rest wherever you like. Allow a few cycles to deep breath again, smoothing it out. We're going to enter dolphin pose or headstand if that is part of your practice, Shirshasana. So if dolphin, come up to hands and knees. Set your elbows on the ground exactly your shoulders distance apart. In both postures, there's a slight protraction of your shoulder blades as you draw them away from your neck. Now interlacing your fingers, press your outer wrists, forearms, and elbows firmly against the floor to rebound your weight off the floor. Not a sense of collapsing, but rather rooting down to rise up. Keep the space in your neck, then tuck your toes. Now, if you're entering dolphin, you lift your pelvis like downward dog and you're in it. Maybe lifting one leg and then switching sides. If you're entering Shirshasana headstand, bring the crown of your head to the floor so the back of your head is lightly supported by your inner palms. Walk your feet forward for Shirshasana and either lift one leg, not kicking up, but slowly tilting your pelvis upside down. Bringing your feet together, flexed or pointed. Lift your tailbone towards your heels. Seal your front ribs towards your back body. And mind space, natural space in your neck. So whatever inversion you're choosing, give yourself about 5 more breaths in it if you can. And let's meet again in child's pose. This time when you arrive in child's pose, you might explore reaching your arms down beside your legs and turning one ear towards the ground to softly stretch your neck. And then after a few breaths, switching ears. Reaching your arms forward, slither onto your belly. And let's prepare for our last active heart opening back bends. Rest your forehead on the ground. Slide your knees as close together as you can. Reach your arms down by your sides, palms face down for locust, with an option to transition your heels back. Up and lift everything you can off the ground. arms like wings. Now stay here for the last 5 breaths, your count, or bend your knees and catch hold of your outer feet, kicking your legs towards straight as you pull your feet towards your glutes, coiling your chest up. In either heart opener, mindful to not splay your knees wider apart than hips distance. Deep breaths. And when you finish, let your legs go. You might like to make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your forehead, and just let your body relax for 3 breaths. Then walk your hands alongside your floating ribs and press your body up to hands and knees. Our last heart opening back bend is Camel Ustrasana. So if you do have a block, take the skinniest width and hug it firmly between your thighs for added support. Now, if you're feeling very open in your chest, and you want to point your toes and flatten the tops of your feet on the floor. Otherwise, tuck your toes behind you. And if you don't know which, this is a good place to start tucking your toes. You can place your toes under. Place your hands on your lower back with your fingertips face down. Keep your pelvis directly above your knees, the whole posture. Draw your tailbone down towards the ground between your knees. Lift your back ribs away from your tailbone and lengthen your lower back. Firm your belly in slightly. As you take a deep breath, lift and broaden your chest. Draw your shoulder heads behind you and your chest up. Perhaps walking one hand heel and then switching hands, or both hands and both heels. Maybe pointing your toes on the ground. Give yourself about 5 more expansive breaths, literally opening your heart space here. In such an open-hearted posture, what are you welcoming into your heart space? In this practice, perhaps in this new year. When you decide to come out of camel pose, place your hands on your lower back again, contract your belly and roll your spine upright. Then find a comfortable seat. Rest in a comfortable seat, maybe with eyes closed, maybe with palms stacked at your heart center. And just breathe there naturally, paying attention. Whatever you feel inside. Sitting down with your legs in front of you, let's prepare for a seated spinal twist. Straighten your left leg forward, step your right foot just in front of your right hip. Catch hold of your right shin with 2 hands and flex your left foot, press down with your sitting bones and lift up through your spine. Backstroke your right hand to the floor behind your pelvis and raise your left arm up, taking a deep breath. As you exhale, twist to your right, holding your shin with your left hand or hooking your left elbow outside of your and drop your right thigh open for revolved Janu Shirshasana. Open the angle between your thighs, if you can, more than 90 degrees, so that your right heel is closer to the center of your pelvis. Flexing your left foot, you may want to use a strap here and step the ball of your left foot into the loop or center of your strap. And if you are using a strap, just hold it with your right hand. Left hand will be on the floor outside of your left hip as we twist. To ground your sitting bones, if not a strap, frame your left leg on the ground. Lift your chest, take a deep breath, and then rotate your chest to the outside of your left leg and fold in that direction. If you're not using the strap, take hold of your leg on both sides or your ankle on both sides. And continue to draw your shoulder blades down your back. Feel a slight compression in your left side of your abdomen. Last 3 breaths. Lifting from your chest, breathe in to slowly rise. Then straighten your right leg forward. Let's start with a seated twist. Step your left foot in front of your left hip, catch hold of that shin with 2 hands, and flexing your right foot, press downward to lift upward. Lower your left hand behind your pelvis, raise your right arm up, take another deep breath. And to your left side, begin to twist, holding your shin or hooking your right elbow outside of your left thigh. Broaden your chest and soften your shoulders down as you continue to twist with each breath. As you exhale, unwind your spine, drop your left thigh open, and see if you can widen the angle into an obtuse angle larger than 90 degrees. Flex your right foot, maybe place a strap around the ball of it and hold the strap with your left hand. Otherwise, frame your right leg with 2 hands, press downward to your pelvis, take a deep breath and sit tall. Spiral your chest to face the outside of your right leg and then fold as you breathe out. Walking your hands down to catch hold of your leg or your ankle, if not your strap. Paripa Dhanurshirshasana. Last 3 breaths. Make our way down. One last moment or last pose before Shavasana. A cooling inversion of your choice. Now, if you have to, if you feel delicious right now, is a restorative supported shoulder stand, stacking 2 blocks on their lowest heights, just beneath your sacrum. In an area we can stably support you to lift your legs straight up. Now, you could do this with nothing underneath your body as well, or come into full shoulder stand if that is part of your regular practice. So in some relaxing manner, lift your legs up higher than your heart. Happy baby works too. At least 5 slower exhalations. Breathe in to your belly, let it expand. Breathe out slower through your mouth to cool off. Inhale into your belly, greeting your digestive organs. Exhale to your mouth, a giving and receiving. And as you feel ready, begin to wind down into posture of your choice to lie comfortably in stillness for a few minutes of seated. Arriving in your corpse posture, close your eyes, let your breath naturally flow. And invite you to continue to pay attention to how it feels to have supported yourself, your body, your inner self, and all the ways that you have in this past hour. So feeling your body at rest, allow it to ease into any gentle movement, gradually leaving this moment. Simple stretch, maybe drawing your knees together and giving yourself a hug. Take your time in your own way to rise and find again a comfortable seat. For those of you staying for our 10 minutes of guided meditation. Today's meditation is to help align you with your inner compass. You might continue to close your eyes or to softly steady your gaze on a simple object like a candle just in front of you. However, you can focus your attention inward. Let go of paying attention to your external surroundings. Feel the physical openness and alertness and ease of your body. Feel such ease in your breath as well. As you turn the page of the story of your life you're writing, what is the energy that drives you in this chapter? Let's take a moment to align with what wants to expand from within you. Trusting creative life force that flows through you, us, nature, and the universe at large. Let's pause to connect with this and deeply listen to sincerely feel. Through the months past, the year or years past, what has shown its greatest value to you? What have you grown to appreciate and feel drawn to nurture? Not out of obligation or from someone else's expectation, but from the privacy of your own heart, deeply rooted in what has grown dear to you, or perhaps has always been what you loved. That despite life's challenges, and perhaps because of life's challenges, you have felt more connected or open to. In the next minute, hold space for any vision or feeling of that to be present, however concrete or abstract it may be. Now, what is the frequency of that experience? Is it joy? Is it gratitude? Is it peace or clarity? Is it enthusiasm? Tap in to that frequency for the next minute. Let yourself feel it in every way possible. As you sit here now, you are clarifying what you are choosing to focus your energy on, and thus bring into the spaces you enter, or beings you interact with. Energy in the form of mind power, heart power, and inspired action. Consider this meditation as a moment of refocusing and tapping into your desired frequency. You are recharging, realigning, and resourcing. Let this be a daily practice that renews loving awareness into and throughout your day. In your own way, set aside a committed time and space to sit and recharge. You've been traveling this human journey already for decades, so you understand that you may be thrown off course from your vision at times. Let those times be reminders to recharge, to hold space for any new wisdom that wants to emerge, and to re-strengthen what you choose to invest your energy toward moving forward. Let life and its rivers of change support and awaken you to realign with your inner compass. But without rigidity, without expecting perfection. Instead, accept your continuous evolution, enjoying each step. Just like your asanas or yoga postures, integrate the qualities of steadiness and ease, trusting yourself, write your story wholeheartedly. Allow your awareness to expand from within to your breathing, the ends of your physical body, the surfaces your body may touch, rest upon. Easing into connecting your inner world with your outer worlds. Slowly bring your palms to meet in reverence and gratitude in union at your heart. Bowing in, let's close this practice together. Joining our voices in the sound that reminds us of how we are all interconnected. And the inner work we invest in, the work on ourselves, is invested in the healing of each other in our interconnection too. One Om. Let's take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.